Hello students. Today we are going to be going over more absolute value story problems. This is day 2 of 7.6 absolute value story problems, page 134 in your yellow packet. Absolute value inequalities act like compound inequalities. The solutions are ranges of values. Absolute value inequality story problems ask for the values that are within the acceptable or accepted range. The real minus expected will be either less than or greater than, or less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. That's what goes in the circle difference. Situation 1, there's a chemical spill and the zone of evacuation is 3 miles. That means the real minus expected will be greater than or equal to 3 miles. Okay, so anybody within that zone can only be if they're protected, but everybody else has to stay 3 or more miles away from that chemical spill. Situation 2 is a child goes to play outside and mom says, stay within 5 houses. So there you have your picture of where the house where they live, 2 more on the left and 2 more on the right. That's within the 5 houses. Okay. So again, on here, what's going to go here is either this, that, or that. So right here in this circle is where the absolute value or the inequality sign goes. So I've read those, read that. Okay, so remember that if it's greater, like greater than a certain range, you're going to use an or, and it's going to be greater than. If it's less than, like it's within a certain area, then it's than is THAND. So remember then it's going to be less than. Okay, let's go on to one of the problems, number 7. Actually, in your paper, it's number 9. Okay. No, actually, you have number 7. I guess the answer key had number 9, but here we go. You have money in your wallet, but you don't know the exact amount. When a friend asks you, you say you have $50, give or take 15. So our graph is, okay, our middle range is $50. And if we take 15 from 15, we're going to have 35. And if we add 15, we're going to have 65. So we have somewhere between $35 and $65. So is that going to be less than, or is it going to be greater than? Okay, so our interval down here is going to be within 35 and 65. Okay, so there's no union, it's one little interval, so it's probably going to be a less than. So we're going to say your actual amount minus what's your expected amount, 50, and what's it going to vary by? Let's see, it's going to be less than or equal to, because it's within the little zone, $15. Okay. All right, number 8, gasoline spilled on a freeway at mile marker 11. Everyone must stay 4 miles away from the spill. Okay, so we're going to graph this. Okay, so here's mile marker 11. And if they have to stay 4 miles away, okay, so they can be here at 7. And they can be anywhere else past 7 miles away from that. Or if it's 4 miles on this side, 15. So it's going to be greater than, we have absolute value of x minus the expectation or where it happened at is mile marker 11. And we have to be greater than or equal to 4 miles away from there. And actually, I was wrong. This needs to be a plus 11. I might need to do the math on that to make sure. Oh, and I forgot the interval. We go the interval negative infinity to 7. Union. Oh, and we're going to include 7 or not include 7? They must stay 4 miles away. I'm going to go ahead and make that an open dot because it doesn't really say exactly. So open dot on both of these. Union 15, comma, infinity. Okay. So I'm just trying to think if it's I still think it's going to be minus 11. I think the answer key is wrong. Okay. Just going to do that really quick on here. Yeah, it's got to be a minus. Okay, so, all right, I have one more and then we can move on. That gave you time, hopefully enough, to write that out. We'll go on to the last one. I'm doing one, a little bit harder one that's on the next page. So you can pause and either do a number 9 or we just move on. Number 13, the ideal diameter of a piece of metal rod. Metal is T, metal rod, is 2.50 inches with an allowable error of at most 0.05 inches. Now, do you remember what at most is? At most something means it's got to be less than or equal to. Okay. All right. So, graph the situation. We're going to say the diameter is 2.5 inches and 0.05. So down here, if it's 2.5 minus 0.5, it's 2.45. Most means less than or equal to. At most is less than or equal to. And then over here, 2.55. It's like that. Okay. All right. So select the allowable diameters. 2.5167. Is that in there? 2.51. Yep. 2.44. No, that's below that. 2.48. Yep, that's in there. 2.558. Nope. 2.501. Yep. Okay. So write an inequality for the situation. It's got to be, again, your real value, you don't know, minus what's your expected value, 2.5. And it's going to be less than or equal to, and what's the the variation, 0.05. Okay. Oh, and I think I needed to remember the interval. So our interval on that, do we need to write the interval anywhere? It doesn't show interval. I'll just do it for the fun of it. We go from 2.45, comma, to 2.55. And again, those are brackets. Okay, you can do the rest of this, students. You rock.